Hi, I'm Yvonne and I teach Highland Dancing at Inspire Studios in Perth. Highland Dancing is for all ages and all skill set, whether it's girls or boys, if they want to compete or just dance to have fun and also to go to shows and demonstrations. It's there for all. If you want to compete at Highland Dancing, it does take a lot of time and a lot of dedication. My dancers will practice with me 3 hours a week. However, they will also practice at home, and then when they go to competition level, they would be they'd have 2 to 3 years of dancing under their belt so they could compete competently. So when the dancers are competing, the judges are looking for neat and accurate footwork. They're also looking for the knees to be turned out. They're also looking for elevation, which is jumping. They're also looking for your backs to be straight, and they're looking for arm positions, and they're also looking for your head position. Bearing in mind, they've got to do all of this in time to the music. So the first dance you'll see is called TRIUBHAS. And as you'll see from the dancers, TRIUBHAS is to be danced as a 2-beat. So that means the pupils have to get their feet over at the same time to the music, and they have to then beat the back foot. That's one of the beginner dances that they would learn when they come to my class. And then from there, we progress on to the TRIUBHAS and high cuts. Again, you'll see the dancers displaying the 2-beat movement, but then we now introduce the high cuts, which they have to beat at the back of their legs, preferably a 2-beat once they become more advanced, and their knees will be turned out at a 45-degree angle. Now you'll see the Highland Fling, and this is a very traditional dance, and actually going back in time, Highland dancing was actually danced by male dancers, and it was to show strength and stamina before going to war or for going into battle. As you will see, first of all, the very important bow, which for the same as TRIUBHAS, and TRIUBHAS high cuts, it is a 6-count bow. Once that bow is taken place, we go into the first step, and again it's all about your foot movement, your knee movement, your back and your head positions and your arms. We then go on to the second step. There's lots of different steps in the Highland Fling. The children are learning toes and heels just now, and you'll see when they're doing toe and heel, they will try to keep their knees out to that desired angle as much as they can. We then progress on to the third step, which is shake and rock. So the children have to demonstrate a good shake movement, followed by a good rocking movement, still trying to keep the knees out as far they can as possible, which is very difficult on this step. We then finish, because the Highland, they're doing the 4 steps, but you can do 6 steps Highland Fling. The kids have showed you a 4-step. They will now finish off with the end step, and they are performed it with 1 turn, but they can be performed with 2 turns. And you'll also notice my dancers turn with their hands up as opposed to their arm down, and that's just to a little bit more difficulty coming into the dance. So again, the sword dance is absolutely, it's a battle dance, as they would say, and you'll see it's very intricate. The children have to make sure, or the pupils, they have to make sure that they don't kick those swords. If they kick those swords, if they're at a competition, they will not get a place. They're out. That's the only dance you're allowed to glance at the floor. You're not allowed to put your head down, but you're absolutely allowed to glance. And you'll see when they do the first step, they dance around the swords, doing the TRIUBHAS and high cut movement. When they go into the sword, this is where it becomes very intricate, because they have got their feet positioned, but they have to watch, still jumping, but they have to make sure they don't touch those swords at all times, which is especially difficult when you go to the hilts of those swords. Then you'll hear the clap, which goes into the quick step. Now, therefore, there's a lot of movement going on at a far faster speed, while they're still having to watch those swords at all times. And then they finish off with a back step going into a bow. The last dance performed by the girls is the TRIUBHAS. This dance is a very difficult dance because, as you'll probably noticed on the other dances, the fling and the sword dance, everything's contained in one area. The TRIUBHAS, there is lots of movement, and the children have to make sure they use the whole floor when they're dancing, but they must get back to the same place they started from. We then progress on to the second step. Again, it's another travelling step where the children have to make sure they get a good shake and they get a good step to the side. Then after that, we then progress on to a stationary step, the hop brush beat beat step. The judges will be looking for on this step, they're looking for close and neat footwork at all times. You will then hear the children clap because that goes into the quick section of the dance, and this is the last step. And the children have performed the point behind heels toe step. This dance is special because it finishes with an assemble change leap at the end. I hope you've really enjoyed what you've seen today. This is just a taster of what I teach down at Inspire, and I really hope I've encouraged your children or grandchildren or people that you may know to come and take part. As I can't stress enough, Highland dancing is for all levels, all abilities, and for all age groups. And you can get in touch below at the website at Inspire or by the telephone number. And my name is Yvonne. Thank you very much.